Hi, I'm Daniel. This is Sandy. We've got the new Trail Gidleigh 5-room tent that we're going to have a look at today. We're going to put it up in the garden if Sandy lets me, and see what it's like. So let's get it out of the box. Pretty hefty bag. 17.5 kilos, so it's quite a hefty tent. It's certainly one you're only going to put up once and leave sighted. You're not going to go hiking off with it on your back or anything like that. So let's try and get it up. It's an air tent, so inside we should have a pump as well. But let's unwrap it and see what we get. Have a practice run at home, see what you've got and make sure you can put it up. And also just to get a feel for the dimensions and the size and the quality of the thing. Okay, so before we start putting the tent up, let's just have another look at what came in the box. Obviously the bag with the instructions sewn in, which is always handy and waterproof, so they're not going to get wrecked a few years down the road. Bag of tent pegs. Main pole that will erect later. And the pump. So everything you need. This isn't gonna work. Okay, I might have to give up. Okay, let's do this tomorrow. Okay, and that's my neighbour deciding yet again to mow his lawn. Okay, quite a significant pump. It's got all the attachments on the end there. Okay, and then in here you've got the main connector. Obviously, this has got a tightener on there. Obviously, keep that as tight as you can. And then you've got the valve, and that just screws in there. Just make sure this remains clear as you screw it in. You don't need any tools. And then simply pump away. It goes up to 7 psi, which is the maximum for these, and then it will just release the extra pressure, so you can't overinflate. It just pulls out and obviously remains on the pump, and then use your final cap just to screw close. If you can hear any air coming out, just tighten. Okay, and there we have it. It's supposed to be about 4 minutes to get the frame up and get it inflated, get it pegged. Yeah, it's taken about more like 15 in total. You've got full tent. It's 4.65 metres long, 2 metres tall, and 3.2 width. So quite a substantial tent. Now, of course, if you want, we've got the awning poles here. And what essentially you can do, if you wish, once you've pitched up and you're happy, I'll do these Velcro, and then this can essentially be used as an extra awning out. And that comes as part of the kit. Poles are here, and they simply, if you look at the ends, little fixing pole, and the poles just go through that, and then they're standard ingrained. Obviously I'm not going to do that here because of the limited space, but that also comes within in the package. So here we are, and so we've got the normal fly screen, which we'll leave open for now. The white stuff is just wrapping from the factory. Okay, so as you can see now, one big open space. We can obviously keep it like this if you wish, or you can put the separator up, which is what we're going to do. So it's a double bedroom setup. You've got a 3-man section here, 2-man section here. If I'm honest, I'd probably go just as a 4-man tent for this. Plenty of room, but it would be quite cosy in there if you've got 3 of you. This is fine as a double person. So 2 children, 2 adults, family tent, perfect. What I do like before I start taking it down is these little touches, like all these extra pockets, the storage pockets in the living area. Word of warning, of course, this is not for cooking, it's not for barbecues or anything. It's just a living area for your chairs and for your equipment. so you can keep the bedrooms quite clear. Maybe for your dog to sleep in if you would like that. Ground sheet 120 DSM, so it's quite substantial. The quality of the other fittings, fly screen and what have you, they're pretty good. I'm impressed, certainly for the price. £900 is the recommended price. If you do shop around, you will get it much cheaper. So we'll try it over the summer. The family and I will give it a lot of outings, and we'll report back after the summer and see how we get on. Windows opposite has got a similar size window, which is brilliant once you're in the living area, and to have the extra light. And then there's these corner windows here as well, which will flood this area with light. Exactly the same on the other side, and on that corner too. So you've got essentially 4 windows in your living area. And as you can see there, on both of these points, there are extra ventilation. Just in this section, see if we get a free draft as well, which is, again, yeah, is perfect if it gets, as it is, a little bit warm in here. Right, I'll start bringing it down. Now, with the internal bedroom, as with anything, when you're packing it away, try and follow how it was unpacked, so you can normally see the lines, but always have the ground sheet facing outwards, have the strongest part facing outwards, and that way these more delicate internal parts should never get damaged. So that's the bedroom taken down. Like I say, make sure you clip up your windows and put everything back as it was when you unwrapped it before you dismantle it. Obviously, if it had been wet, when you get home, you'll have to put it back out and let it air. But thankfully, the day I had to put this up, for the first time at least, it was windy, but perfectly dry. Okay, now for the fun bit. Now we let the air out. Sit. That's not sit, that's jump. Now, as you can see, it's still pegged into the ground, which is how you need to do it. Obviously, if we had the guy ropes fitted as you would in a normal campsite in an area where you've got the space, and they're not just testing it, then you'd unpeg all those guy ropes, tie them up before you deflate the tent. Go back. And then it's a question of just rolling it up. Last roll. And we should be ready to get it in the back. So, there we have it. Fine, man. Gidleigh air tent. That's a pretty good start. It's only. Say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Come on. Let's go for a walk.